We had a look at pages. Pages are Vue components, which can have some special properties as you learned. We only learned about the validation property as of yet, but we'll learn about more throughout this course. And pages are loaded on the entire screen basically. One route leads to one page being loaded, or even multiple pages if you're using the nested approach. Now, besides pages, we got that layout which provides the application frame, as I said. Now we can see that in the layouts folder. There's a default.vue file, and the file name is important. If this file exists, it is used as a default for all the other pages, and it should exist. If we inspect it, we see it's pretty empty. We got a div, and then, interesting, we get this Nuxt component in here. Now this is of course a component provided by the Nuxt framework, and it essentially means this is the place where the different pages should be loaded in. Now then we get a style section here because it's a normal single file Vue component in the end and can be used as such. And this is no scoped style, as you can see. Therefore this simply is the default style for our entire application. And there are different places where you could put it. And of course you can still style your individual components differently, but for an application-wide style, it's indeed recommended to use the default layout, which is, well, a great place for such styles. There are other places though, and I will show that later in the course. Now let me remove that entire style and then save everything, and this instantly shows you a difference. The font changed. Now this is because I removed the style here. Now that is how we use a layout. We could add a second layout if we only wanted to use that on some pages, like for example users.vue. Then we could copy the default layout setup here, and to see a difference, we could add a header at the top where we simply say users section. Now to use that layout instead of the default one, we go to the pages where we want to use it, like for /users and also for the users.vue file. And there, in the script section, in that object, we add another special property which is understood by Nuxt, not by Vue, but by Nuxt. And that special property now is the layout property. And there you simply pass a string like users without the .vue. And this will now look for a users.vue file in the layouts folder, and if it finds it, it will use this instead of the default one. So we can copy this and copy it to our index.vue file in the users folder. So let's add it here too. And let's add that same logic to the index.vue file in this ID folder here. So in the nested folder for the dynamic parameter. There I'll add layout users. If we save that and we reload the page, we see users section at the top of /users1 as well as just /users. If we go back to the main page, however, we don't see it because there we didn't assign that layout and instead the default one is used. So this is how that all works. You can have multiple layouts. In a lot of apps you only have one though, I will say that. And this allows you to create a frame around all your pages or some of your pages, whatever your setup is.